is 250941 SM, the People versus Jessica Jezerski Glass. Aaron Wagner, on behalf of probation.
Good morning, Honor. James Gizek on behalf of Ms. Jezerski. She's had the opportunity to go over her rights of rights form. She signed it, had no questions. Going to enter a plea of guilty of having contact with Mr. Gridot, and then we're asking if we can address the court prior to sentencing.
All right, ma'am, can you tell me your first and last name?
Jessica Jezerski.
All right, did you go over this probation violation arraignment and advice of rights form?
I did.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes,
And did you sign and date the back of that?
I did.
And you understand, ma'am, that if you enter a plea of guilty, you'll be waiving the hearing rights listed on this form. We're not going to have a hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay. And you've had a chance to discuss that with your attorney?
yes,
And you understand there's a allegation you failed to comply with the no contact order. That's a non-technical violation. So I could give you the maximum possible jail time on this offense, which would be 93 days. Do you understand that?
I understand.
All right, you gotta speak up for my court
I
reporter.
understand.
All right, knowing all of that, ma'am, how do you plead to the allegation you failed to comply with the no contact order?
Guilty.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get you to plea?
No,
All right, I'll accept the plea. Mr. Gizicki?
You know, I think obviously the court is well aware of this situation and that of the complaining witness in this matter. Ms. Jezerski, she's been under doctor's care for many psychological things. And Mr. Verda has taken advantage. He's had contact with her, and although it's her fault, or she should not be talking to him, she's obviously, you know, he's manipulative, and she falls into the trap every time. You know, there's not much else I can really say, Your Honor. I'm just asking if there's an alternative to the 5 days in jail. As I indicated, court's aware of both parties in this case.
I am.
Yeah, and I just wish the court would take that knowledge into consideration.
Ms. Wagaman, anything?
The only thing that I have, Judge, is that I did call Ms. Jezerski directly before the last contact reported to me.
That's what's so infuriating and frustrating about this.
Correct. And then they had a phone conversation discussing the conversation that I had with Jessica to never contact him. Hang up if he calls you. Do not respond or react to any text messages. And not even 2 hours later, I got word that she talked to him.
Here's the thing, ma'am. Mr. Verdu is going to use the criminal justice system to harass you and to punish you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. He's going to, because he's consistently done it. Here's the thing though, you're on probation. You had a court order, and in that order, I said, you can't have contact with him. And I'm gonna refresh your memory. Last time we were here, or the time before, when I learned that you had a VOP for contact with him. And then I was given a stack like this of the two of you going back and forth, where he was verbally harassing you, abusing you. I mean, the whole thing was disgusting. The entire thread of messages was disgusting, but you kept taking the bait. When you did that, I had a really long lecture, ma'am. And in that lecture, I told you, I can't make him. There are things you can do, and it looks like you've done it. At this point, I can't make him not contact you, but I can make you not contact him. And what'd you do? He starts using the criminal justice system again. He contacts you all the time, but you respond and you don't do what he wants, and he goes to your PO, right?
yeah,
So he goes to your PO and provides some evidence that you have had contact with him, right? And then she calls you, and your PO tells you, do not have contact with him. The judge has ordered that you have no contact. Do you remember that call?
yes,
And then the first thing you did when you hung up the phone with Miss Wagaman was do the one thing she said not to do, that I had previously ordered, previously lectured you on. We'd already been to court once on it. Do not contact this man. And you immediately put a call into him and started talking about your call with Miss Wagaman. And of course, Mr. Verdude got what he wanted because he recorded that call and turned it over to your PO. So not only are you, listen, I'm not justifying, I think it's clear his behavior in this case, but you are under court order to have no contact. And the one thing, if it would have been this back and forth, we would have looked at it. But when I have a probation officer call a defendant and say, hey, remember, you can't talk to him, period. And the first thing you do is get off the phone and call him. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going when you outright violate a court order like that?
Yeah.
That's right. Ding, ding, winner, 5 days jail. That's where you're going. And I hope you learn something from this, because whatever's going on between the two of you is, quite frankly, insane. And if you have any contact with this man, you're out of your mind. Because anytime you contact him, he just turns around and tells Aaron and you go to jail. And the only thing I think is going to break this cycle in your mind where you understand what no contact means is if I send you to county. That's it. That's all. That's the only thing that's going to work. Everything else I've tried lecturing you. Aaron's talked to you. I have literally put it in a court order and you violated the order. Not once, but twice. And probably many, many, many more times. So you're going.
They stole something to jail.
Okay, you're going to jail. You had a choice. And the fact I have a recorded call, that Miss Wagaman received a recorded call of you calling him right after she told you not to, there's no choice. I have no choice. You're going to jail 5 days, Wayne County Jail. And when you get out, you talk to Aaron and you do not talk to Mr. Verdude, because if you do, next time I'll put you in for 10. And he's gonna bait you and you know it. We're set. All right, we're here on 251453FT, the people versus Ian Jagger.
Matt Keys on behalf of probation.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is the girl with the Neighborhood Defender Service, P86432, appearing on behalf of Ian Jagger, who stands to my right.
Ian Jagger.
All right, so before we go into anything, I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking at this point. I'm not gonna continue to play, all right? He gets out, he's supposed to turn himself in. This is the second time now that he comes in and tests positive for heroin.
This is just the first time.
What happened the last time? Was he in, I kept him in custody. I wouldn't let him out
Correct.
until we had a bet. Then
The Sacred Heart could not get in at that time until.
So he had to come in on
Friday.
Friday.
Correct.
He's here on Monday and he's testing positive for heroin and what else?
Heroin and cocaine.
Heroin and cocaine. Mr. Jagger, look at me. Do you want help or are you wasting my time?
I want your help.
If you blow this again, I'm not doing this. There are people that are waiting to get in this program. I only have room for so many. And if I'm not doing it anymore. And you're clearly in your high risk, high needs, like you clearly qualify for the program. But like, when did you get out of Sacred Heart?
I went and I did the whole process. I had congestive heart failure back in 2023. I was in a coma and my legs had swelled and but they wouldn't let me in. So I called Mr. Keys and I told him it was after 4 o'clock. I went home. The only reason I went, I was on Suboxone and I didn't have my Suboxone prescription. They didn't give it to me. It was
How long you been on Suboxone?
since I was in,
Since
since
he
I
was
got
in
locked
custody,
up.
Judge.
So how long's it been since you used before you got out?
Like prior to being incarcerated, he was using daily,
I
Judge.
was using daily.
So he has been in custody, Judge, since
The first.
the first.
All right, so Matt, there's another facility that'll take him.
We still need to get on the phones. I know he indicated he called and found a bed at Sobriety House. My concern with that is that they don't offer a detox and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some withdrawal, and we should be finding a facility that's able to actually.
Right, well, the problem is,
Yes.
all right, so the allegation is you violated your bond by testing positive for heroin and cocaine on 9/29 and admitted to using on 9/28. To that allegation, sir, did you go over your rights? You understand you have a right to a hearing? Did you have a chance to speak about that with Ms. Segura? You're waiving your right to a hearing. All right, to the allegation you tested positive for heroin and cocaine and admitted to use on the 29th and 28th, how do you plead? Anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get your plea? All right, I'm gonna accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. I'm revoking the personal bond. So you can't trust yourself.
I understand.
The only way you're gonna stay alive is if you're not on these streets.
I understand, thank you.
Set cash bond, and it'll convert to a personal, when bed's available. We do not need to go back on record. I am stating on record that when he's got a bed available, it'll convert to that personal. And we won't have to go back on to modify it. All right.
My attempts, or my plan is gonna try to get him on the phones this afternoon. If we can't find anything today, I mean, considering there's likely gonna be a withdrawal, I mean, do you think it's in best interest to be going to Wayne County after?
I mean, yeah, they're not gonna have anything
Confirm.
next door. They're gonna send them to county.
And then Judge, so with the congestional heart failure, they informed him that he needs to get a cardiac clearance before being admitted into the treatment facility. I don't know if that's just to Sacred Heart or if that's to all treatment facilities. Is there a way that we can put an order in if that's something that the jail does that he gets?
I'm marking the file medical, and I've written congestive heart failure and that he needs the boxer.
Okay,
But I don't know if the jail, that's something Matt's gonna have to get him on the phone
Yeah.
for.
okay.
Matt, are you gonna try and get him on today?
Yes.
All right,
Get him on this
hopefully
afternoon.
we'll be able to at least come up with a plan by the end of the day. I mean, I doubt, given the time, that he's gonna find him a bed, it's gonna be available, and they're gonna get him there today.
He understands that.
But Matt will take care of that with Mr. Jagger.
Thank you.
All right, we're all set.